Mm. All right, hey everybody, this is Dion, and we are live. Let's try out. Um, I'm very vigilant today because I'm doing this for the first time on a new software with everything working. It took me a lot. So, without further ado, let's do a live reaction video to Mario Kart World, the direct that was dedicated towards that event, if you want to call it. So, new details revealed. Let's see what this is about. I like the music though, even though that's not new anymore. I like that they have still the same instrumentalization, playing live instruments in studio.
Drivers, start your engines. Welcome to Mario Kart World, available exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2.
Very
What kind of
colorful
races
though.
await you? In Mario Kart World, you'll aim for first place in each Grand Prix. But why stop there? Across cities, plains, a desert.
You know, I like the fact that they put in the cowl here. Um, Obviously, it's not going to be like a follow up to Mario Kart 8 Deluxe or Mario Kart 8, which is still a game that came from the Wii U days, if I might remember. It's probably about 11 years old right now. So these games tend to be intemporal. However, let's see what they explain. You know, besides the obvious new animations, the new color grading, new better shadow effects and light effects.
Why stop there?
The wheels are also changed. They are a lot more animated. The characters come alive a lot more.
You'll aim for first place in each Grand Prix.
But let's see. Obviously, Mario Kart World. So I realize that the tracks are connected to each other.
Across cities, plains, a desert, and even the ocean. You
All
can
right,
drive
riding in the
virtually
ocean.
everywhere in this fully interconnected world. Races are held on courses scattered throughout various regions that span this world, and you can freely drive between them.
I was not expecting to see like a live, like a flying version of a cart just
Everywhere in this fully
floating
interconnected
around.
world. Races are held on courses scattered throughout various regions that span this world, and you can freely drive between them. There's a lot
I
of
kind of wonder what do you have in between? Like, do you have those Mario-esque things that you expect them to have? If you think about it, there wasn't really, if I'm not mistaken, like a truly open world. Well, maybe Mario Odyssey or something like that comes to mind, but was it really open like that? I don't know.
in store, and we're only at the starting line. Let's introduce some of the courses that are
Like, what
waiting
can
for
you do?
Here we go.
Here we go. He's very happy. I appreciate the fact that they made brand new courses, because for the last decade we just had the same thing that was already done. And for the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken, you had that DLC which they called New Waves of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, meaning they brought they brought these classic tracks to the Mario Kart 8 engine, and that's about it. You know, it's very much appreciated, but you know, you paid for it.
Let's take a look at some of the new courses to explore.
You saw that? Oh, I went way past it. You saw those hammer, they called Hammer Bros or Hammer, I don't know. You didn't have that.
Found throughout the world, inspired by their surrounding region.
So are they based in real world experiences?
Let's take a look at some of the new courses to explore. Ride the ridges and roads on Mario Brothers
Mario
Circuit.
Kart Circuit. I mean, I need to take note of all of these names, you know, to try to remember them when the game actually comes out.
Ride the ridges and roads on Mario Brothers Circuit.
All right.
And cruise the curves around the canyon. You can't miss it. See the sights and stylish structures of Crown City.
Crown City.
You can even soar in style down Main Street.
That is cool.
Drift along the rapid waterways of Salty
Speedway.
And make a splash around the city's canal.
I don't know why. Well, it kind of reminds me a bit of the universe in... Wait, let's go back. What was that Mario Kart, that Mario game released on the GameCube? Wait. Super Mario Sunshine, right? It kind of reminds me of that language, if you can say so, like as if it is part of that. I don't know. Maybe it's not even that. Maybe that's not what they went for, but that's what it makes me think of. So you're actually driving on the water.
Just don't slip off while soaking up the scenery. Have a spirit
It looks like a
show
sleigh,
in the
right?
ghostly
Boo
movie theater,
Cinema.
Boo Cinema. It's a whole new kind of drive-in.
Yo, that was cool. Did you saw that?
It's a whole new kind of...
Look at the way Boo is dressed. I like the fact that they used literally the cinema theme and took it kind of literally, you know, using celluloid and film.
And in addition to lots of new courses, there's Toad's Factory.
So they kind of skipped a lot of those courses, just saying there are a lot of them. How many of them actually? Peach Beach,
Wario's Galleon, and more.
Right, so they don't want to give you everything.
Past titles are also here, but now they're...
Wait.
Nostalgic courses from past titles are also here.
God, I hope, you know, this is what I actually said this in a video, I believe. What I really wanted was to have, like, everything that you loved about the previous Mario Kart games, that you have them here in a way that you can play them, you know. Even if it's not part of the main game, like you can have a section where you can just reminisce and play that. That can be defining in a lot of defined. Excuse me, guys. You're not realizing this, but I'm hearing myself talking back with a kind of delay. That's not of your concern, but so that you know that's why I'm messing up right now. Like every Mario Kart had its engine, and you could have different attacks and different items that they're not available in all of the games in the same way. So I realized there's probably gonna be a necessity to make some adjustments, but
now
I think I really wanted
reimagined
to see that.
Spread throughout the world, where races can happen during the day.
Oh, look at that map. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. At least more than 20. Okay, over 20 tracks. with different
Race as
elements.
familiar characters like
So at night, at daytime, different weather conditions, you can play in the air, on water. There was a little small part on what was it called, on Mario Kart 8. I don't know if it was a track that was reworked from a previous generation, but you kind of go like in the water. But I don't believe it's like here. It's better worked here.
Bowser and Yoshi. Plus new drivers like Goomba, Spike, and that's right, Cow.
I see a lot of
Even
emphasis
more
on the
racers
cow.
are
That's
waiting
funny,
and
but
ready to roll.
there's a lot of characters that they could have put on here that are from the Mario universe, right?
Select
Like imagine this, that professor from Luigi's Mansion. I don't remember his name, but he talks like this, like zuka zuka. He makes like these weird noises. You could, I don't know if he's here. Is he
your
here?
vehicle, then you're off to the races.
Professor
Characters and
Egag, that was his
vehicles each
name.
have different stats, so make sure to find the combo that best suits you. There are two main styles of race revving up in this world: Grand Prix and Knockout Tour. In both
I don't
modes,
really
up
know
to
what the knockout tour is. Is it like a new battle mode? Is that it?
24 drivers can participate, the most in series history. Your rivals aren't the only hazards you'll need to avoid on the road. Look out for cars that shoot bullet bills, attacks from Hammer Brothers, and other obstacles
Hammer
along the
Brothers.
way.
That was what I
Try
was trying to
steer
remember.
clear. And now, get ready for Grand Prix with Mushroom Cup.
Grand Prix. You know, as a little kid, me and my brother and my cousins, we messed that up. We actually said something like Grand Prix on Super Mario Kart. And then when you had like, before you had a game over, you could retry. And we used to make a mistake and say retry. You know, if you're not a native English speaker, you know, those kind of
Our Cup,
things happen.
Star Cup,
I
and
always
more.
remember it when I
Grand
see it.
Prix races are held all around the game's world. You'll race through 4 different courses in each cup and aim for the top spot.
Okay.
In Mushroom Cup, you'll start off racing around Mario Brothers Circuit.
I think this one is probably that. I mean, on Mario Kart 8, it is the same track, the track with the same name, right? I believe that you kind of play. So this one has, if that is true, this one is gonna have probably one of the most played tracks like on this game, right?
While the
Probably
second
the first
race
one
will
that
take you
people
from
arrive to.
Mario Brothers Circuit to Crown City.
Mario Brothers Circuit, right?
For the first time, you'll need to drive yourself to the next course in Grand Prix.
It looks like a cowboy.
So keep your eyes on the road.
Okay, so you need to drive
And
yourself
you
through the
conquer all
location.
Grand Prix Cups.
I mean, that's kind of cool, but you could have shown us a bit more. Maybe we'll see that further along the way, right? But what is that going to feel like as a player? Because up until now, like for approximately 30 years that this franchise exists, how is that going to look like? You know, because you're always in a track racing. And when you're not racing, you're kind of selecting things on a menu and you want to actually drive something.
Rumor
So how is
has
that
it
going to
that
feel?
A certain colorful course will appear.
How many tracks are you actually going to have
Next
here
up is a new mode.
that are like
Knockout
old school?
Tour. From Golden Rally to Ice Rally and more. These extended races take you from one end of the world to the other. Get ready for a sprint. But you've got to place if you want to stay in the race. Speed towards checkpoints throughout the world. If you don't make the cut, you're out of the running.
Okay, that is interesting. This kind of, well, there are a lot of racing games that have this, But the one that kind of popped up in my head was the Forza games, mainly Forza Horizon. It used to be an exclusive for Xbox. Now they're selling it on a PlayStation right now. I don't know what to make of that, but anyway, it is frustrating if you don't make those cues, right?
Buckle up.
I kind of wonder how like I'm listening to it, but not having the experience of actually, well, within an event probably, and having the Nintendo Switch 2 in my hands or watching it on a screen and playing it. I don't know what that's going to feel like through a video. You know what I'm saying?
Close in on the checkpoints. You've got to drive to survive in Knockout Tour. So keep your eyes on the prize and aim for first place.
Mario always looking silly.
Items can drastically change the outcome of a race. Here,
Right. How is the system going to work in this game? Because in Mario Kart 8, my god, if you're like first or second, you're going to get hit with everything. In the middle, I think it's kind of the sweet spot, but still my memories of Mario Kart 8 is that you're constantly getting hit with something.
That'll help you out. Coin shell.
Okay, coin shell.
When you throw a coin shell, coins will appear. Now's your chance to grab them. Just don't let your rivals cash in first. Ice flower. With the ice flower, you can freeze out rivals.
I believe this was introduced with New Super Mario Bros. Wii, right? At least that's when I saw that. You got a hammer?
Nailed it. Hammers also stay on the course for a short time.
How is the coin system going to work in this game? Because if you got a new item. All right, they brought back Mega Mushroom, which was from the Wii days, right?
Feather. Use the feather to jump up and avoid attacks. You may even discover some unexpected routes.
New feather. I remember this from the Super Mario Kart days.
With Comic's magic, your rivals
What's this?
will transform. What other mysterious effects will happen? You'll have to see for yourself.
Okay.
The lower your placement, the more likely you are to find items that'll turn the tables. So when you get items, go for it. And if you're new to the Mario Kart series,
I like the
there
fact
are
that he's
added
kind of
support
dancing
features
like
to
a little
help you
dance
along
move.
the way. These include
I like the fact that you can
Smart
see
steering, which
the
helps you
capabilities
stay on
of
the
the cart
course.
that you're choosing.
tilt control.
I saw a video online like you have that on Mario Kart 8, only they took it out. I don't know if that's true, but if you think about it, usually when you have a driving game, you actually see that, right? The how good it actually controls, how much it can, the acceleration, those kinds of things. You never actually had
Or you
that
can hold
here.
the Joy-Con 2 controller horizontally and use motion controls to steer. And if you have the Joy-Con 2 wheel, you can feel like you're really driving.
Here's the thing. It would have really helped if you actually explained to people how is the HD Rumble 1 compared to HD Rumble 2, which is what you'll be having here with the Nintendo Switch 2. I don't know. I tried out Mario Kart Wii on the Wii, and I was at somebody's house, and the thing is, I kind of get used to the controls in like classic mode or with the Pro controller, something like that. Steering with the, like doing this, it's kind of fun, but I got to get used to it,
Ooh, how about a quick break? A snack sounds good right about now. Hey, look!
So we need
it's a
to be worrying
drive-thru.
about
Here at Yoshi's, you can
these
grab
guys
an
need
order
to eat,
go.
right?
Dash food.
What's that? Yeah, that instead of a drive-through, that looked more like a drive-through pit
Take a
stop
bite,
style.
And you can unlock outfits inspired by your meal.
Huh.
Eat some sushi and Whoa,
I was not
nice
expecting any of this,
dress.
though.
Once unlocked, these outfits can be selected from the character selection.
I don't know. You know, I don't know if this is true, but I'm getting a vibe like, you know, there were games where you choose characters and they have like a little dance and whatnot. I don't know if Nintendo is answering to that and or putting their own little twist to it, but the fact that you can choose different dress styles and whatnot, that is stuff that I was not expecting to see in a game like this.
Who knows what dishes or outfits you'll find? Make a pit stop.
This
Check
guy's
out these
probably going to eat a
drive-thrus
lot.
all
You know, this begs the question.
around
If you
the
just
world.
eat chips or food that's
was a
not
nice
particularly
detour.
healthy, will you
Now
actually
let's
gain
get
weight?
Back to the action.
That's kind of fun.
Let's introduce some new tricks that'll help you ace each race. Charge jump. You can now use a charge jump by holding the drift button while driving straight ahead. Charge up and release to jump.
All right, so you're gonna get used to that to
Use this
give you
leap
like
over
boosts.
obstacles.
You
Grind
can just
along
jump
power
in midair.
lines and dodge attacks from your rivals.
Oh, that's
If you jump
interesting.
toward a wall, you can wall ride for a short period of time.
That's nice for a short period of time, like the same time that you
Chain
get a
some tricks
boost, a
together,
turbo
and
boost.
you may even reach places like this. Ah, so close. Almost there. Whenever this happens, be kind and rewind.
Okay, well, for those of you that are in your 30s, you know that was an expression used to when folks used videotapes, right? Be kind, please rewind. When you used to go to, I don't know, whatever, it depends on where you used to live, where you live, you know.
This
Like, wait,
you can wall
Let's see
ride
that
for
again.
a short period of time. Chain some tricks together, and you may even reach places like this. Ah, so close. Almost there.
there was always, I mess up his name. I'm not going to try to say it, but that little guy that sits on the cloud, you know, he used to fish you up and then he used to like steal money from you. And it took a lot of time. So it's nice that you can
Whenever
do this, but
happens, be kind and
I don't
rewind.
imagine you doing this in a
This will
race, right?
return
In
your
a,
vehicle to its original position.
how is that going to work in the race?
Nice, made it. This can come in handy when mapping out how to best
Or wait, is it in real
to
time?
its original.
And the race is just going to
Whenever
continue
this
without
happens,
you?
Be kind and
Right, it is.
rewind. This will return your
So
vehicle
the
to its
time that you
original
lose is
position.
on you.
Nice, made it. This can come in handy when mapping out how to best approach a course.
This is very
Keep in
dynamic
mind,
that they
though,
added
your
this stuff.
rivals will
Like,
still move normally when you rewind. So don't
right, he's
lose your
giving
lead.
me the answer right now. Oh, damn. How many people can play at the same time? 24th place?
Want to take a spin in even more races?
More
In
modes.
time trials, it's you against the clock. Here
Right.
you can race without any other competitors. And if you go online, you can download and compete against ghost data from racers around the world.
That's a nice touch. I was about to say that usually you race against your own ghost,
Customize
right?
the rules of the road in Versus Race. You can use the classic rule set of running 3 laps within the same course, or you can choose to drive the distance from one course to another. You can even take the road less traveled and choose routes that aren't in Grand Prix or Knockout Tour. Up to
Well, if you can
24
free
drivers
roam
can
in a
now
way
compete
or
in
go
2,
from one track to
3,
another, you know,
or
there's
even
got to be
4
stuff in the
teams.
middle that makes it exciting for you
Group
to
up and get ready to
feel
put
like
the
it's
pedal
justified
to
that you
the
go
metal.
drive yourself. What?
Next up, battle mode. You can pop off in balloon battle, where you use items
So,
to burst
classic
your
battle
rival's
mode.
balloon.
You know, I'm going to be sincere. I barely use this on Mario Kart 8, It's not that it's not entertaining, it's not well made, it just didn't attract me at all. The other
And
mode,
Coin Runners, where you can go
Racing
for the
Live,
gold by collecting the most
excellent.
coins. Race or battle, enjoy whatever drives you.
You know, even if they just repeated the same goddamn formula, it would have been entertaining. You know, just because there are more players. I feel like they really, or if they hadn't presented the new ways of playing it, like you can wall jump and all of that, you know, it would have already added to the experience that you already have. Let me just check out my camera. Okay. Let's keep going.
When you're not racing,
Free roam.
you can enjoy free roam and go wherever your heart takes you.
I already saw some folks on the internet like, well, is it going to be any fun? Like, what are you going to do
roads?
off-road?
No problem.
Let's see.
Ride the rivers. See the seas. Drive the desert. Or jump off from way up here. You can
Oh,
go
boy.
wherever you like, even to the edges of the world.
That's kind of fun. They really had to make it look
Switch over
fun.
there.
Right. Collect blue coins on the slackline course.
Hit P switches you
They're
find across the world
slacklining
to
here.
start missions. By completing them, you can hone your driving ability outside of races. There are also hidden coins.
So there's going to be a lot of folks out there just trying to, you know, gain those coins.
Hidden panels, and more. So take the scenic route and explore. Also,
That is kind of cool. Like in previous games, there were times I didn't do that a lot because the main objective is for you to race. But if you do like a time trial and you know just drive around to check out for shortcuts or stuff that you haven't really paid attention to because you're going always fast, you know, on different tracks. This is pretty much an answer to that as
during
well,
free
right?
roam, you can take photos whenever you like. Strike a pose. Look at the kid.
That's a very strike a pose. Right. Photography. Right there. Or maybe they're just referencing Madonna with the Vogue song, right? Strike a pose. There's nothing to it. And you wait, they have different poses, right?
Camera. Choose a frame to decorate and nice.
This is like every
That
game
one's
has this
clear.
now, you know. Here's the thing. You kind of have an idea what Mario Kart is all about, and you're not thinking about all of these things. Like you don't think less of the game because these things are not there, but I really had a good time, you know, in The Last of Us 2 and Cyberpunk 2077 and really use the camera.
If one person has
Multiplayer.
Mario Kart World, up to 4 players can race in split screen on the same console.
Right?
The game also supports local wireless play. Up to 8 players, with up to 2 players on each console, can race together this way.
Okay. Well, if you have that, you know, in the previous generation, you expect
And
nothing
up to
less here, right?
24 players from around the world can join a
Wow,
race
24
or
players.
battle in online play.
Okay. That's very entertaining. All right, it is exciting.
This may look
Play
like
with
free
friends
roam,
online.
but this is where you'll wait while your friends join you.
Oh, that's a nice touch. You know, instead of you just being in a room, you know, watching menus and waiting out, you know, this really nice. This is nice.
Looks
This
like
is
someone's
nice.
arrived. Yep, you can meet up with your crew anywhere in this world. By checking the map, you can quickly see where your friends are and travel to their location.
This is really nice. This is
Battle or
nice that they
race
brought
with
this to
custom
this
rules.
universe of, of Mario Kart games.
Or just go for a ride together. Make this road
Right.
trip your own.
Can you imagine you actually having that feature? Oh my God, they're bringing in the classics. Wait. Maybe they was just posing for a photograph. Whatever. As I was saying, that feature, I don't know out of my mind. Like, I don't know exactly what they call, but where you can actually call and have, you can speak through voice, and if you buy the camera, you can see each other within the game. Which, if you think about that, those are things that you already do, through an app, through your phone, maybe through the console itself, meaning it's on the Xbox or the PlayStation or on your computer. I can imagine that being a thing here when you're just talking about life with your friends and you're just driving around and just, hey, let's play whatever on Mario Kart, and there you go. That is substantially gonna, how should I say it, like, maybe add more time to playing this game. Just doing that, I don't know, man. There's a high probability that will happen.
You can also take photos together along the way, if that's more your speed.
I like the Super Mario Kart reference there.
With Game Chat, enjoy an expanded
Right, Game
experience
Chat, that's
by
the name.
talking online with friends. Use the built-in microphone to voice chat while driving together.
Yeah, let's go.
They're dancing.
Let's go. Check this out.
Like, I've seen in so many different games where you can press a combination of buttons and they have this little dance that they do, or it's not something that I felt, oh, Mario Kart is missing out on this, but it is nice that they added
Use the
that in.
built-in microphone to voice chat while driving together.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Check this out. Nice.
The only thing that I don't really like here is, I thought it was just for simulation purposes, but
Or
if you
take
look,
a back seat and watch each other's game screens.
well, it's enough for you to know what is going on. But really, I don't like the fact that it seemed like it's lagging.
Take a back seat and
The
watch
video
each
footage
other's
of
game
my
screens.
friends, if you want to call them that, just for the sake of simulating here on this video. Wait, look.
Or take a
Could
back
you
seat
not at
and
least put
watch
that
each
on
other's game
30
screens.
frames per second, or 60, 30, because
If
it's
you have a
smaller?
Nintendo
That is what I don't get here. Like, because that from the presentation video from the Nintendo Direct, it was like that on all of the games that they've shown. And they shown that you could play different games and be on the same call, which is crazy.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Check this out. Nice. Are you kidding?
Or take a back seat and watch each other's game screens. If you have a Nintendo Switch 2 camera,
Can you actually switch it up and watch it like on your full screen?
you can enjoy seeing your friends' reactions while playing together.
Oh, that is a nice touch, though. That is really, like, as simple as it sounds, the fact that you put it in a circle right there and you actually can easily know to who it belongs, like the name, the face, and the vehicle that they're driving. That's a nice touch.
Who's close by?
But it's like,
Wait, who
okay,
just passed
their
me?
face have little
You'll be able
animations.
to tell in an instant. Aim a shell and bullseye.
Wait, is that a video stream or is that a
When playing
profile
together
picture?
in
Because I
person
don't
on
think the
same
guy was
console,
having facial
a single
expressions.
camera can detect up to 4 people's faces.
Oh, okay, that's nice.
Enjoy the view
You know,
and get ready to face off with your friends.
oh, that is nice. That is a nice touch. Come on, because I imagine, I just seen news today about the prices of all of these accessories, and everything is, well, let's just say if you go besides the camera, which was something that the original Switch didn't had as an accessory, everything was a lot. It was more expensive. Everything. Besides the carrying case, that was cheaper. But okay, it kind of makes you wonder, how much are you going to have to pay for if buy the model or buy the game within the, that package that you have where the game is bundled. Like if you don't buy that one and you buy the game like separately and all of these accessories, you're not, I don't imagine somebody buy a second pair of Joy-Cons unless you have, family members that want to play with you, or you buy a Pro Controller. How much is all of that going to cost? That's I think, I know prices are going up, generally speaking, but it really, I mean, I saw on the news yesterday that, I don't know if there's truth to that, but that the PlayStation 5 will have an increase in pricing. And I'm thinking, like, I never saw that, with previous generations, they go for cheaper, not more expensive.
Instant.
But everything is going to go up in price. And I don't know if that's a market thing, or if just Nintendo is being greedy. And the worst of those choices are maybe both,
And when playing together in person on the same console, a single camera can detect up to 4 people's faces.
The Nintendo part that has the creative side that does the games, obviously is completely different from those that do the selling and the marketing. I mean, come on. I feel that even though they try their best to explain it through a video, I don't think you're gonna know exactly how entertaining it can actually be without comparing to previous installations of Mario Kart. And it also depends if you're playing with friends, if you're actually using that audio and video, that voice chat thing. And you actually need to have, like, I have a couple of friends, obviously, that have the Nintendo Switch, if you want to say that. But because we all have different lifestyles, it sometimes, it can be challenging to everybody to actually, be available at the same time and actually do this. So I don't know, if you have a couple of friends that kind of align with your schedule, that's going to be fine. But, that's not Nintendo's fault, but you know what I'm saying. What's this? Okay. Nice music, man. They're wrapping this up already. I wanted more.
A transcontinental race around the world is just around the corner in Mario Kart World, available exclusively on Nintendo Switch 2. A hardware bundle that includes a digital version of Mario Kart World will also be available.
Available while supplies last. Why didn't you have the voiceover say that? God damn you. Oh.
A transcontinental race around the world is just around the corner in Mario.
I mean, I'm getting a feeling from Nintendo that they are going like social all the way, and learn from the feedback that people have been giving them, since the Nintendo Switch. This is very entertaining. This is, again, I'm going to repeat myself and say maybe only if you actually get the chance to experience it personally, then you will know. And it also depends if you have people to chat and play with. That's going to be also be a thing on the social side of it, I can see people that say that, well, if you're going to charge people depending on how much money a certain game is worth asking for, I mean, they really, this is like, if not through the trailer, this could probably be one of the best Mario Kart games out of all of them, but in terms of content that you actually have, are people gonna value that if they say, if you see that you're gonna have to pay $80 up front if you don't buy that bundled edition? Man, I don't know. The thing is that the sad part is that because of these new pricings, instead of people focusing on what the creative part of Nintendo did, right? Unfortunately, people's discontent about the new pricing is going to overshadow that. And that is really disappointing. That is disappointing in a lot of ways. But I don't know why you guys are doing that. And still, I got to criticize, people don't really criticize the how much they're asking for the console. But if you're selling in Japan, which is your, that region where Nintendo, it's the native part. Still, I believe that the amount of money that you're asking on the Japan front of it, that's the price that you needed to have, like all over the world. And I read also that they're depending on the region, they're selling it at a loss, which is something that is, if you think about that for a second, that's new for Nintendo. That never happened. So can that be justified to have an increase with the pricing part of the games? Because that is something that, Xbox and notoriously the PlayStation did ever since the PlayStation 3 came out. And Nintendo, on that generation with the Wii, they were like the answer to, we're going to be innovative. We're going to want these people that are not hardcore gamers to come and play. And we're going to sell the crap out of this system. And here, you get a Nintendo that is like, we're just going to make a Nintendo Switch Part 2. We're not going to introduce something that you were not expecting, which Nintendo always did that. And that's not an easy thing to do, right? And you kind of have the other companies like copying the ideas that work. That and being greedy again after you had a big success. Historically speaking, Nintendo always lost their mind when they had a big success and they messed things up. It's if you keep this up with the prices and all of that, you're gonna have a bigger risk for that to happen again. It happened with the 3DS. You had to take measures. That system was a success, but the Wii U unfortunately did not see that, right? And you didn't give people a price cut on the Wii U when it was selling very bad. Nintendo is a company that has the creative part, the game side of it, but don't forget they are a company. They are not your friend. They're here to sell things, And
In Mario Kart World,
with the current economy, I don't know. I don't know if the, in America you have this expression, it's like the average Joe or the moms that want to buy something for the kid. I don't know if those people are going to feel a bit, that's just too high for what I can afford to give something, as a gift or to my kid or whatever. And I think that's very unfortunate because I believe Nintendo will be getting a hit from that. But as time goes by, with possibly bundles, man, I don't know what to make of it. As for myself,
each Grand Prix.
I kind of want to buy it because I really like the Switch and all of that and what works well, but I'm not stupid, I'm not blind to the fact that,
A desert?
even for
And even the ocean.
the
You can
Xbox
drive
games and the
virtually
PlayStation
everywhere in
games,
this
everything
fully
is
interconnected
a
world.
lot,
Races are
it's
robot
more
courses
expensive.
scattered throughout
It's
various
not
regions
cheaper,
that span this
And
world.
Nintendo games, on the contrary, from their first-party games, they don't really lower their
And you can
prices. So
freely
I don't know
drive
how
between
that
them.
is gonna go.
There's a lot in store, and we're
And I kind
we
of
got
wish
to start.
that a game like
line. Let's introduce some of the courses that are waiting for
Wii
you.
Sports was available
Here we
for
go.
the Nintendo Switch, like a packed-in game always, I believe. Well, Recently, PlayStation 5 had a new bundle which was with Astrobot, and that game is amazing. I haven't played it. I can't judge it based on that, but what I've seen, it's so creative, it's beautiful. There are folks that feel that they kind of reutilize a lot of ideas from the Mario universe, but I mean, how could you not, right? But that is a smart packed in game. You know, you're not paying for that game, you know. But if the news that I saw that the PlayStation 5 is gonna sell, you know, a lot for more instead of reducing the price, you know, I don't know what to make of it. You know, I really didn't see the advantage point of PlayStation 5 Pro, and I still don't see it now. You know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is kind of being seen like a Switch Pro at this point. I believe you can. It's a fair conclusion that you can make. You know, let me know what you think in the comments down below. You know, I talking about this game, not to drift away from the conversation that we're having. You know, I believe it might be one of the best games in terms of content for the Mario Kart series. But you have to play it to know it. If it justifies the new price tag, I don't think it's just because of that. I think it's just because of, well, the economy. But definitely they got a bit cocky, for lack of a better word, to that's also there. And which is a shame, really, but I don't know if it's true that what people saying that they set the new standard for $80 games. I think what they wanted was for it to be $70 or 70 euros, whatever your, you know, the money that you use in the country that where you live. I don't you know, I don't like that part. Keeping it real, I think it's a lot, you know. But you get the excuse like, well, PlayStation and Sony are kind of pushing it there, so why not do that with the new hardware introduced? Well, I don't know how that's gonna go. If I wanted to lower price, yes, I would want that. Am I gonna get this when it's released? Well, let's see. Let's see.
Where races can happen during the day.
It's a barrier, you know. The higher the price, the bigger the barrier. You know, that it was not like that when the back with the original Nintendo Switch. You know, but I can recognize their you know, the value in this game. But that's where I'm gonna leave it like that. Uh-oh, my UI is showing. Guys, my name is Dion. Thank you for watching, and keep watching my videos on, you know, on my different social media, on my channel, whether it's on YouTube, Twitch, whatever. I've been trying to stream to Twitch, to TikTok. I had to find a way to get over their policies in a way, you know, because I don't have enough followers there to actually be allowed to stream. Don't say it to him, you know. Don't get me in trouble. You know, and just keep checking out my stuff, all right? Maybe I'm gonna ask $80 for every video I do, just like Nintendo did with their game. No, I'm just joking. So I'm gonna shut up right now and I'm gonna leave. Okay. Goodbye. Thank you for watching and goodbye.
Attacks from Hammer Brothers